MiKayla here, and welcome back to my channel this week. And today's video is going to be how to maintain good grades in high school, college. This is specifically college, but this definitely can go with high school. I have a list of eight little tips and tricks for you guys on how to maintain good grades and just things you should really just be accustomed to and stuff. And I just have the list on my phone here, and I'm just going to go through them and I'm going to explain every one of them, and it's going to be a good day, it's going to be a good video. So yeah, if you guys are new here, hi, I'm MiKayla, and you should definitely subscribe to my channel. If you have not done so already, I would appreciate, and I'm glad to have you. And yeah. Also, if you have not done so already, you should definitely follow me on Twitter. My username will be right here down below, and it is also linked down below in the description box. So without further ado, let's just start off with the tips, so shall we? My number one tip that I think is one of the most important tips ever, and I feel like it's just, especially in college, I feel like a lot of people just think that this isn't important and stuff. I feel like it's just very not popular when it comes to college, and that is to show up to class. And I know what you're thinking if you're in high school, like if you're a freshman in high school and you just heard me say that, you'd be like, what? Of course you would have to show up to class. Like how else would you survive? But once when you are a senior, you will understand why people say that, and I understand. There have been a lot of people in my classes my freshman year who barely showed up to class, and I just would not understand why they wouldn't show up to class. I just never understood. But I will say, you hear a lot that college professors or instructors or college teachers don't do attendance grades. But that's not the case. A lot of your professors and your instructors are going to give you a grade for your attendance, and that is going to do wonders for your grade in general, for your overall grade. I have showed up to class every single day in my freshman year. I think I missed 2 classes. Yeah, I missed 2 classes, but I don't even count that because that was for a family emergency. But otherwise, I did not miss a day of class. Now, if you are sick and you're puking your guts out, that is one thing. If you do that, if you are sick, don't let that faze you. If you are sick, that is one thing. Just email your teachers, ask, hey, what did we do in class today? Should I get a lecture, like notes from anyone? Did we do any homework? What is the homework assignment? And just different things like that. That'll really help you when you're sick. But otherwise, seriously, show up to class every single day. Even if it's an 8 a.m. that you dread every single day. I had an 8 a.m. my first semester of college, and it sucked. But I went every day because I knew I had to in order to maintain good grades. So, moving on. Start studying 2 weeks before your test. Now, in high school, I hated studying. I hated it with a passion. I never had the motivation to study whatsoever. I didn't know how to study because I didn't know what worked for me. But in college, there is such a different motivation. There's different motivation in college than there is in high school, and that motivation is what helped me maintain good grades. In my next video, I'm going to have a video coming up in the next couple weeks about motivation and how to stay motivated and stuff and just what helped me. So stay tuned for that. One thing that I have done this year is I have started to study 2 weeks in advance before a test. Especially, I know it's kind of hard when, if your college professor says they're going to give you a study guide, but they don't give it to you until 2 or 3 days before the actual test. I understand that that can be really hard, but you just need to figure out some way to study. Maybe try asking the teacher if you can have the study guide beforehand. I don't know. But I know for my speech class that I took this past semester, my speech teacher was amazing. I love her so much. But she gave us study guides, and we had them. She had them. We use Canvas. I don't know if any of you know what Canvas is, but that's where our classes are and how you can get to the homework and stuff and submit homework and stuff. So on that, she had those files for every unit chapter test of a study guide, and we had those study guides from day one of class to the last day. And so that was easy because I would fill that out, and then when 2 weeks came, I'd start studying that, and I'd divide it by sections. And that gets me to my next point, is to study a little bit every day. Don't cram everything in like at night, like the night before your test. That's not going to help you. If you study a little bit every day, you're going to have more motivation to study because you're going to know that you're not going to be cramming like so much information in. Another tip that I didn't put on my list but I just now thought of is if you are studying and all of a sudden like your brain just you cannot memorize or learn anything for the life of you, just stop. Absolutely stop. That happened to me a few times and I hated it because I was like, no, I have to study because it was getting close to my test. And I was like, I need to study, but I'm not learning anything. But I just stopped, and surprisingly, I was okay with it. Once when I stopped, I was like, okay, this is good for me. Just stop for the night, stop for the day, and pick it up the next day. You will thank yourself. My fourth tip is do the extra credit. And I know, I feel like coming into college, you just wouldn't think that college professors and teachers just wouldn't give you extra credit, but you would be surprised by the amount of teachers that do give extra credit. I'm taking an environmental course online right now this summer, and at the end, all of our units that we go through, there's 4 things of extra credit, and you can do all of them if you want. You can do 3 of them, you can do 2 of them. They're all 100 points worth of extra credit, so I will definitely be doing those because science is not a fun subject for me whatsoever. Do the extra credit, even if it means going a few miles out of your way to do it, or if it's busy work, do it anyway. I kid you not, you will be thankful that you did the extra credit. I promise. Number 5, this is pretty self-explanatory, and a lot of you guys might be like, what? I don't even do this in high school. Why would I do this in college? If you do this in high school, like I did, awesome. But get 8 hours of sleep every single night. I know a lot of times you'll see like on TV or even with just society today, you will see a lot of college students like saying, oh, I'm going to pull an all-nighter to study for this test. That's the wrong thing you want to do. That's not going to help you in the long run, and that's just it's going to make you more tired, and it's going to affect your grade in like a negative way rather than a positive way. The more sleep you get, the more alert you're going to be to study, and the more alert you're going to be to take that test. So getting 8 hours of sleep every day will help you. My 6th one is don't be afraid to ask questions, especially if the teacher is a little bit confusing when giving instructions. There's this one teacher that I've had who I ask questions to all the time, just to like, not just because she's confusing, like she's not the least bit confusing. It's just that sometimes I will interpret things differently than the teacher will. And so I just like to email her after class sometimes, or even go up to her after class and just be like, okay, so blah, 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 blah. Is that what you want me to do? And just kind of restate what she told you to do and see if that's correct in her way. So then you will make sure like that you are doing that assignment correctly. And also for the same tip, use your teacher's office hours. I never did just because I didn't really have to. But if you do have a question and you can't like get to her, like you have a question and it's after your last class and you don't have her class for another couple of days or something, use the teacher's office hours and go in there and ask your question then, and it'll be good. And also during class too, if you have questions, ask during class. There are no right or wrong answers. I know I struggle asking questions in class, especially because I just feel like if I ask a question that I feel like is dumb, I always feel like everybody's judging me for that question or something. And so I never really like to ask questions in class, and that's why I always like email the teacher afterwards or something. I need to get over that. I really do. It's been a problem of mine since for as long as I can remember. So ask questions, kids. Now the 7th one is get your homework done ASAP. Like, I did this in high school, and I'm doing this now in college just because I feel like it's a lifesaver because you're not sitting there like at 10 o'clock at night the day before your assignment is due, like remembering that you have this assignment that's due and you have to get it done. Like, that's terrible. Like, that would be terrible. Like, you'd be rushing to get it done, and then you wouldn't be able to give your teacher your best work. And so the minute that I would get home from my classes, I would be doing the homework grind. I'd get my homework assignments done and ready to go to be turned in the next time I have class with them. So do your homework ASAP. It will help you in the long run. And now the last tip I have, and this actually has a little bit of a story to it, and I'm not... Okay, back up. The 8th tip is to participate in class. And the reason why I say this is because this past semester I got a whole letter grade docked because apparently I did not participate as much as the teacher would have liked to. And I'm not trying to like talk bad about this teacher or anything. It's just I was very upset about it because if she would not have docked me those points, I would have gotten straight A's and I would have been able to be on the president's list too. And when that's in your mind and all of a sudden you get pulled away from that, it just really upsets you and it makes you upset and angry and just really mad, and you're just like, why did this happen? I did participate. Like, you just get really upset and you don't know what to do. And I tried to fight for my grade back, but it did not work. And so yeah, participate in class, because if you don't, there's a possible chance that it will deduct your grade by a whole letter grade. And that's just that. It was very, very upsetting, like I keep saying. That is all the tips and tricks I have for you on how to maintain good grades. Those are all the tips that I do. That's everything that I do. So yeah, literally in high school, I had good grades, but I would end with like 1C or 1D. But my freshman year of college, man, I've been getting all A's and B's, no C's, no D's. For some reason, the motivation in college is just strong for me, and I've been doing really good. And I'm not bragging or anything, but it's just crazy to me that I went from high school to college and I got like super smart for some reason. It must have been the wisdom teeth thing. Got my wisdom teeth out. Probably made me smarter. Whatever. There's probably a lot more like tips and tricks that I'm not thinking of, but those are the first 8 that came to my head. I tried to get 10, but I couldn't think of 10. So here we are with 8. I hope you guys can take these into accountability. I hope you guys use them in college if you're starting college this next fall. So yeah, I guess I will just talk to you guys next week. And also, comment down below what grade you're in. I feel like I asked this question before, but I feel like it's just a good question to ask again for the topic of this video. So, what grade are you in? currently I am a rising sophomore in college, so that's me. I guess I will talk to you guys next week.